Hello, I am on live. Realize some of my settings that I'm used to on YouTube have changed. So this took me a few extra minutes. So thank you for your patience. If you're waiting, we are ready. So I'm going to unpin this message that I had earlier and say hello in the chat if you feel called to be participatory. I am going to go ahead and get a transcript set up for us. Always helpful for me personally. And I understand I've been very much a lurker myself, if you're familiar with the term, to lurk in groups and sessions of the sort. I'm in a bit of a new space. So you're seeing me at a new angle in my bedroom. Lots of changes energetically, I'm realizing, and a new crown, which I'm feeling called to adjust, um, and a new necklace. Bit of a hair day here, but that's what's alive in my world. It's rainy, it's cloudy, it feels like the right kind of space for me to go inward. A few things for us to note before we dive in, acknowledging the guides and the energy, as I call it. You can replace the term guides with universe, source, God, your higher power. I want to keep the space inclusive for your beliefs and your trust, whether that be with yourself or in something greater than you that you believe and trust in. So that's one. Two is I do encourage you to have crystals, candles, um, the right space, maybe a cozy sweater or blanket, whatever feels good to you. I have a nice cozy sweater on and adorned in as my most magical self, as I like to call it, where I feel I'm much more feminine forward. I am leaning and listening to my intuition first, having lived most of my life in my logical brain, that side of things, much more masculine. And there's definitely the masculine here. Know that we will run for about 75 minutes, somewhere in the 60 to 75-minute range. I wish I could be more precise, but this tends to be flowy, and I'd like to give you real time. Um, this is since it's live, or if you're watching the replay, you'll have more control. I have a journal, I have a pen near me, a couple of crystals, and anointing oil, some what's hopefully going to be soon warm water, and it's on a heating pad here. A candle, um, a heating pad for my feet, all important things. And let's see, is there anything else that I'm missing? I have a box of tissues is never a bad idea if emotions come up. I hope that this process, and this is something we'll do in the next few minutes while you're getting ready, getting settled as you're listening to me. Like, this is a time for us to ground our energy together, bring it back. If you are experiencing a December season when I'm recording this, um, like mine, it's the energy is scattered. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people in my world. Maybe your December feels much quieter, but you still feel distracted or fragmented. This is a call and an invitation to you to bring your energy back home. I'm going to take a moment to double check my tech on my side that everything's working okay. So hang on. I hope that you are getting set up in the meantime. Getting set up. Okay, yeah, things are looking good. Yay. All right. My hair is as good as it can be. And I am going to keep my journal a little bit closer. Sorry if you hear that as I'm getting set up here. And let's take a few deep breaths as we get ready. at your own pace, in your own time, but you can do this listening to me too. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you do so, just allowing your energy to settle into your heart space. Feel as if all the energy that you may be sending towards projects, things to get done, places you need to be, maybe bodily functions you need to take care of. If you need to take care of yourself and your body, you're welcome to step away and come back. I'm still doing a lot of energetic grounding for the group here. So there's no rush, no pressure. We're not in active process until we hit the 10-minute mark here, is my goal. Um, and I'm just feeling into what wants to come through, that I am going to follow the flow that I had set up earlier, but I expect some changes and tweaks to happen as they always do in my world, as I feel into the energy of the group and myself, that we may take some twists and turns as things show up energetically, intuitively for me. So, with all that said, um, I'm going to invite you to take your journal. I recommend, well, I'm very much a digital journal kind of girl. But whoever you might be or whatever's your style, I trust you know what works for you. I have a journal and a pen going here. I'm going to invite you to pull out a page, write today's date whenever you're doing this process. If it's now in the year 2024 as I'm recording it, but you can note whatever year is right for you. Um, Wherever you're at, I'm feeling the nudge from the guys like this doesn't have to be a December of the year and I need to do this process. This can be, I just need a reset. Maybe it's the start of the astrological new year, March, April timeframe, or it's something else for you. You just want to call in a shift, call in a new, different, expanded, more powerful version of yourself. We want to start by presencing, acknowledging where you are today. So start with today's date. Um, I am recording this on the day of the solstice here in 2024. It's a magical, powerful time, the darkest day of the year here in the Northern Hemisphere where I'm located. Um, if you're here live, whenever you watch this, whenever may be your time frame, please share in the chat and the comments where you are tuning in from. Um, and I trust that you've written the date and title this. This is your closing out ceremony. That's what we want to write on the top here. A letting go of the old and a calling in of the new. And I feel like the guides are nudging us that we pause at this point. I'm going to run through the flow again in just a moment, and then we will drop in and get started with our meditation here to set intentions. There'll be, so let me pull up my notes here before I go much further. And as I'm doing so, I just needed to pull up my notes, which happened to be in my email. And I'm just seeing a bunch of souls joining my Akashic Insights email series. So, a gentle plug or invitation, really, for that, where every Monday I intend to send out these Akashic Insights channeled from the Akashic Records, the home of your soul and soul's energy and history and story, really. So, if you feel the call to be part of this, completely free, it just requires the energetic investment of you spending time about 5 to max 10 minutes each week to really receive and digest those words. Um, the link, I'll provide it in the comments so that you can click on it and receive. All right. think we have it up here. So, as we're getting close to the 10-minute mark to start, we're going to start with an intention setting exercise and do a brief grounding. I feel like both are going to get blended together. And once we set our own unique invitation for ourselves with our intention, it's interesting how the word invitation came through as I was trying to say the word intention. Hi, guys. Um, Once we complete that, I'm going to invite you to journal on a few questions about 2024. They're meant to be reflective. They may bring up certain emotions and feelings in your body. I am going to hold space for it all. Um, Trust that the energy that I'm sending through my guides and your guides will support you, will hold you for whatever comes through in this space is something that you are capable of holding. And if for any reason something feels too dysregulating, too hard to go there, you have full autonomy. You get to choose. I'm not ready to go there. I can't lean into that. Maybe you need an experienced practitioner to be in your space, maybe a support group. Trust your body and your intuition. They are your primary guides. I'm just creating a beautiful, activating, and grounding space for you to receive, for you to be a container for you and all parts of you, including this current, present version of you and then future you. So, without further ado, we'll I didn't complete stating everything here. Oh, I'm in such a flowy feminine state that I just can't run through a set of bullets. But I'm going to invite us into meditation after we journal on 2024 to tie an energetic bow around all of that. And then as we step into 2025 or your future self's energy, again, don't be attached to these years because I get the call from the guides that many people will use this time and after. Ooh, big chills for that. So, whatever may be your intentions, whatever may be your time frame, letting go of the old, calling in the new, we'll journal on that and I'll drop us into meditation to close. Does that all sound good? I'm keeping some space and room for any questions that you might have. And if not, we'll drop into meditation in just a moment here. Give me a few seconds while I double check our time and our flow here. Yeah, I think we'll still be good to close by the 45-minute or so mark from now. But give me grace and yourself grace and space. It's nice to have spaciousness around these kinds of processes, I have found. And I'm also trying this format out. Usually I have done this on Zoom in the past, and now I'm here doing this on Zoom. So we'll keep some room for technology to function well and calling guides in to support us to manage our time, manage our energy, manage our focus, whether it needs to be diffuse and open or whether it needs to be pointed, like laser focused. Okay, I trust you're ready. Let's dive in. Inviting you now to close your eyes and settle into your space. We're doing a brief grounding meditation exercise to connect back to our bodies even more deeply, to settle into your space. And as you're doing so, breathe with me our breath. Inhale and exhaling out. Letting go of any worries, stress, tension. Maybe collecting a crystal or two in your hand. Maybe getting a sip of water. I feel like we all need a sip of water. Let's do that. The guides are reminding me to remind us all that our bodies are conductors of electricity and water helps. Water helps so much. So thank you. Thank you for receiving. And as I'm checking my technology is continuing to work here, I'm settling into my space and inviting you to Let your shoulders fall back, settle down. Maybe they want to shift and move left and right. Maybe you feel called to gently adjust your hips and back. These are all places where we hold so much tension, and the guides are reminding us to just soften. Soften for we don't need to hold, we need to let go and receive. It is a feminine process of receiving that we are embarking upon today. So we thank you. We thank you for listening and feel that love. It feels like a whoosh of energy through my entire body as your higher power, you guys, is sending you so much love. And as they're sending all this love into your body, starting to visualize yourself in a magical cylinder of light. It's as if these light beams emerged all around you. It's coming from the very top of your head, in fact, up above from the sky, and reaching all the way down into the earth below. And there is a moment quality about it all. I feel like these beams of light, while they may seem almost cage like around you in their structure, they feel bright and expansive. They have different colors like yellow and purple. Maybe you're sensing or feeling something else. Maybe you're not seeing but feeling the buzz of energy all around you. Whether it feels soft or subtle, or maybe it feels wildly electric, allow for yourself to receive whatever feels most true to you. Don't let any voices in your head make it feel like, oh, I'm not quite seeing that, or not quite hearing or sensing that. Just trust the process and you'll be guided. Your imagination, your body will take you where you need to go, is what the guides are reminding us as I'm feeling into this energy. This portal is what they're saying. It's a portal extending from below to above and above to below, allowing us to receive and connect and ground and integrate it all in a way that we can take into our day, take into our lives. It's not just the theoretical, but it's also the practical. And so, with that, the guides are now inviting us. It's almost as if these beams of light parted like buttons that are starting to open, and it feels like there's an opening, and the guide's inviting us to say in our heart and in our mind, what are your intentions for today? What would you like to experience or receive? Maybe it's just a word, maybe it's a feeling, like you want to feel more expanded, maybe you want to feel more hopeful, maybe you want to feel an opening in your heart to receive. Maybe you want to feel more peace, more love, more belonging, more understanding. Or maybe you want to desire a certain experience in your life and it has not been coming your way. And the guides want to honor the sorrow, the sadness, the grief of unrealized dreams or disappointments or changes. So many of you have had unexpected changes in circumstances and plans, and it feels hard to reconcile that right now. Like, I had all these plans, I had all these hopes and dreams, and here I am wondering, where do I go from here? And the guides are giving me this feeling that to honor that, and this process will allow you to feel that and feel into other possibilities. So maybe set your intentions around that. I'm going to give you a minute to be in your heart, maybe even bringing your hand to your heart space and pressing upon it. Maybe it's allowing yourself to just drop in, receive. Your time is now to set your intentions for the exercise you're about to embark on. Gently taking us to a close on that process here, trusting that you reflected on a situation, a word, an experience. What do you want to have happen today? I would take a moment now to write that in your journal. I'm doing it in a written journal, but you're welcome to do it in a digital journal, maybe notes, Notion, or something else. Mhm. And now that you've captured that, I'll now invite you in this space, and I'm just checking with the guides if we need more channeling or meditative experiences. And they're like, no, we can tap into our questions. Let's start with your present day circumstance and the time period that has just elapsed. For me, I'm reflecting on 2024. Many of you are likely doing that too. But if you choose to receive this at a later point, it might be a different time frame. And we're here to recognize the time that has passed. I'm just writing here and I will share more on what questions we can write about. Also, I do apologize if you hear some background sound. I'm trusting and hoping that my microphone is doing its job. But there is some kind of buzz that decided to start as we began this exercise. Let me know in the chat or in the comments if you hear it. I hope that in the replay or somewhere I can edit it out if it comes up. Um, all right, so we're ready to begin on our few questions here. Question one that I'd like you to reflect on is what are some of the high points that, and I'm going to write it as I'm saying it so it'll be slow enough for you to receive and write it too. What were some of the high points of this past year? And at the same time, I'm being guided to ask you to write about what were some of the low points because you might remember them in, like, they go hand in hand in some cases. And so I'm just creating some space and writing what were some of the low points. I'll give us a few minutes now to journal about those. Let's say about 3 minutes, and then I'll bring us back to um, reflect, maybe share. Hmm. And don't think too much, just allow the flow to come through. Trust that as you write, more will come through. And if you feel stuck at any point, that You can always hop between questions, which is partly why I think the guides wanted us to answer both at the same time. And if you feel overwhelmed with emotion at any point, please pause. That's another thing that they wanted to say. So I'm just doing a brief check in. Maybe you've answered a bunch of highlights. Maybe you're feeling stuck somewhere. Let me know if you are at a certain point and want to presence that and maybe feel seen through that. Other people will also not will feel less alone that they might be feeling stuck or unsure about how to capture things. Or maybe you may be like me, you just spend time on the highlights and have avoided the lowlights, the low points. Um, it's interesting that the term lowlights came through. I wonder. But if you've not written those already, I'm going to give us 3 more minutes to. This doesn't have to be comprehensive, is what the guides are telling me. But they're saying it is to capture the energy of those points so that you can track and see what stands out to you at the end of the year versus there are some things can feel really big in the moment, but they don't have quite the same energetic quality later on, if that makes sense. And so this is a time to really integrate what's standing out to us at this time of the year. All right. And I'm hearing that a lot of you have gotten to a good place on your list. I'm also hearing it's not complete, and the guides are saying you can very much come back to filling this out if you want to acknowledge more. Keep some space for that if you need to. But we are ready to move on to 2 more questions, after which there'll be a bit of integration that I will do um, through meditation. And so the question that the guides wished for us to reflect on is what impact have you made on others this past year? And the guys wish for me to tell you the next question too, which is what impact have you made on yourself this past year? I really love the quality of this question. I don't know, especially for the kinds of people who show up in my world who I spend time with and in client sessions, in my readings, in my soul voyages, and more like series of sessions that I do as a sprint. Need a sip of water. Reminder to you to hydrate as well. Is that we are very outward oriented people. We are very sensitive to energy, and by virtue of that, have fallen into roles many in many ways by choice because it's what we came here to do. It might be a caregiving role, it might be being very compassionate and empathetic because those are our gifts that we naturally bring through. I have so many chills down my arms, legs, and face as I say this. It feels very true for this group now and also in the future who watch this. And I'm feeling how we tend to be very focused on the impact that we are making on others. We are very oriented towards that. It's just an orientation, is what the guides are saying. And to remember and remind us that that orientation is good because we receive so much in the process of giving. And there are so many ways that you impact yourself when you make big, powerful decisions, when you choose things for you and you only. And the guides wish for us to reinforce and remind ourselves of that. I feel like this is going to be a practice for me too as we tap in. So, going to give us probably about 6 more minutes to write this all as I'm tracking time. We'll check in about 3 minutes in and see how everyone's doing. And as you're writing about impact on others, definitely focusing on just a nudge from the guides to remember maybe this is um, people at work. Maybe these are people you have at home, in your family, in your extended circle of family and friends. Maybe it's a neighbor. Maybe it's even a therapist, a coach, a healer you go to. Maybe you've impacted them in some significant way. Um, it definitely could be your clients and audience if you're a entrepreneur like me. And I'm actually took a moment to look aside at my um, client altar that I have up here on the wall and was reflecting on people and how I've made an impact on them. Um, and so, just a nudge to keep track of all that. And even to acknowledge the guides are showing me how the ripple effect, like there are people we are impacting because we impacted certain people, and then it rippled out from them into their community or family. Lots of chills down my right side as I say that. You might see it on um, your left because this video is mirrored. But just recognize that an invitation to keep going with. I'm hearing like pause on the impact you're making on others, switch to yourself because I feel like there's some, this is going to feel harder. And I'm curious what's your approach to writing the impact you've had on you. For me personally, it's showing up as ways I've shifted certain habits um, from self care, eating, exercising, and more to getting things done for me, which used to be a very hard thing, I would say, 4 or 5 years ago. I'm feeling the nudge to share this. I would do all these, programs to vision your next year and like write down all your accomplishments. And there's a little bit of that here, but I'm also in the process of writing down what impact I've had on me, really celebrating the ways I've given myself space, the ways I've eased up on things that didn't flow. And at the same time, there are places where I pushed and worked hard and hustled even, and I'm celebrating myself for doing hard things too. And both can coexist and both can be true, for we are in a world of duality. And so one's not right or one's not wrong. It's just what makes sense for us in our journey at that time. We came here to learn it all and experience it all. So just acknowledging that as you write your list. I'll give you a minute more to add anything else that comes to mind, and then we're going to energetically tie a bow, trusting that if more memories or thoughts come in at a later point, they will be taken care of in our energetic process. So, one more minute. Right. I decided to pause. Another thing I wrote for impact on myself were also boundaries with people, with even things like Instagram. I decided to set a big energetic boundary around not pushing myself to hit a certain frequency there of posting. And I may change my mind. I'm very open to the energy shifting, but it's allowed me to do different things in my business. And so trusting that, and that's impact I had on me. All right. I think you are probably wrapping up and just checking, tracking based on the chat, and also checking in with my guides if we are ready to drop in. Okay. All right. It should be about 5 to 10 minute meditations. The intention I'm setting, of course, we will see. And I invite you now, if you're able to detach from your journal, to slow down and tune in. So much of the time we are thinking, excuse me, we're so actively thinking that we forget to just breathe and receive. Being is just as important as doing, is what the guides are saying. And so they want us to really feel into our bodies and feel into the parts of us that have worked so hard. Maybe it's your shoulders, maybe it's your knees or your feet, maybe it's your pelvic region, maybe it's your uterus. If you have a uterus bearing body, I don't know if that's the best term to say it, but um, maybe it's your back, maybe it's your eyes or your forehead and your head. The guides are saying to us that you recognize the hard work that your body does in order to accomplish, to have this kind of impact on yourself and those around you. Your body takes a hit. And they're saying this is a moment, the first key step in this path to integrating this past year is to take a moment to say thank you to your body for all the things it has done for you. And I'm feeling chills in so many of the places I mentioned, especially my knees, my lower back, my entire back, really. And pay attention to where are, if any, sensations coming up for you. Maybe you hear or you know which parts of you have felt this the most. They're saying, like anything in life, if you choose to let go of it, it comes from expressing it love, sending it love, is when something feels complete, that you lived, you loved, and you lost. This is the second time my guides have said this phrase, and I always think of it as perfect for a romance novel, but never quite in the context we are all here in. So that's kind of funny. And they're saying yes to your body is the most important integration tool there is. So please take this time to feel this love and gratitude for your body, for all that it does, all that it's bearing witness to with you and through you. And trust that you will be able to set intentions for your body with your body as well for this upcoming year and time period. Take a deep breath now in through your nose and out through your mouth, whooshing so much love through your body, allowing for your guides to send that to you and amplifying your intention of love towards your body. And so I'm going to ask the guides, how is it that we can best integrate, honor, and thank everything that happened this past year? The good, the hard, the exciting, the challenging. Like, how can we truly honor this and be with it all? And I'm inviting you to step into this energetic room with me. We've all magically traveled energetically to what feels like a beautiful, large, crystalline dome. It feels almost like an igloo, is the color and the quality, but very large, very expansive. And as you step in, just feeling and noticing the cool blue, maybe iridescent colors, maybe white, whatever shows up for you is right for you. As you step into the space and look all around, the guides are almost putting these snapshots of all the highlights, the lowlights, the highlights of your year, of this past time period. And I can feel not just you looking at the wall, this curved dome like wall, but everyone else. There's like an audience here. It's all of us who are here and circled together, are working through each of these images. Like, oh wow, look at that. It feels like I'm in an art studio and everyone's perusing the art. And the guides, what are the guides saying about this? This is your space and your time to energetically co create this feeling and this love and appreciation of everything that you did. Even if it feels like it felt very hard and you felt very alone in your struggles in whatever happened. Maybe no one really understood what you were moving through. Maybe it feels very internal, or even if it was very external, it just felt hard. Or maybe there were some good things, but there were also some hard things. This is a time where we can all energetically share and connect. For there's so much power in all of us doing this process for each other. And so I'm asking less of the guides and more me that if you consent to this journey, this process, it's almost happening simultaneously for us all. Like it's almost like they're in parallel, like different timelines, but it's like, oh, here's one person's and another's, and we're all simultaneously able to look at each other's lives and appreciate all that we work through. I just feel that energy and it's super tingly around my ears to my neck. And just trusting that however you feel this, maybe you're also looking in awe at someone else's journey, like, oh, look at all that they accomplished, or wow, they survived all that. That must have been so hard. Like, it's part of this human experience to go through these things. And they're saying so much of this tends to be camouflaged or varnished. Like you see only part of the picture, you don't see all of it. And so we don't have this real moment of appreciating what is happening in each other's lives. So even if it's not you seeing your own life's highlights from the past year, is saying trust that it's happening for you, to you, and you are doing it for you, to you, as you're doing it for others. Because this is all but a mirroring. We're all mirroring this energy for each other. I just want to say thank you to everyone who said yes and consented. Just an energetic yes from you to be part of this process is so expensive. I'm hearing everyone clapping and cheering for everyone. So just feel that in your heart. Use your imagination too. Clap and cheer for yourself. Clap and cheer for everyone else. And thank yourself for receiving. Feel that recognition and belonging as being part of this exercise to thank the year that has passed. I'm feeling the energetic doors. It's as if the curtains have been closed and we have said and bid adieu, a goodbye to the year that was. Inviting you now to breathe and come back into your space now, feeling your feet in the room you're in, noticing where you are in 3D space and time, and opening your eyes. Welcome. Okay, That was interesting. I don't think I quite expected that. Well, in our last 15 to maybe 20 minutes or so here, I'm going to invite us now to write about 2025. And we'll see how we'll play with this. If you're not here for 2025, just the time period you're asking about for the future, time that has yet to elapse, we're here to embrace it. Embrace the future. You can title your page. After we did our recognize the past exercise, we're going to embrace the future. And I'm hearing to start with our questions. I'm hearing, what are your biggest dreams? What are your biggest goals? Okay, this thing start with that, and then we will write answer one more question. Oh, it's 333 my time. Hello. Um, it's perfect actually, which is all about taking action and has the vibration of the number 9, which is all about change as well. We're completing a cycle and stepping into a new, which I think is very true for the energy of 2025, the threshold that I'm on here. Um, but for all of you answering for whatever time period it might be, what are your biggest dreams? What are your biggest goals? Give you about 1 to 2 minutes to answer. All right. So I hope you've written a few of these, trusting whatever came to mind right now is what you needed. Keep some space if you want to have space for more. I'm actually going to flip the page and then answer. What are some of your greatest worries or fears around what you want to receive or experience? Okay, and I'm hearing it can be even this, you're afraid that something that's happened in the past is going to happen again the same way. It could be a repeating pattern. Maybe it's something that you've tried to do in the past, it didn't happen. And so, will it even happen again? Do you have that kind of faith or belief? So, write down all of those worries or fears, and you can reference your goals if that inspires you to think about how might you run into. These are not necessarily, I'm checking in with the guys. It's not like here are practical roadblocks. It's not just that. It could include that. Like maybe you're worried you won't have enough time. Maybe you'll be too busy with life or family or other things to be able to achieve what you wrote before. But they're saying it's also the deeper emotional, like, can this be possible? Do I believe this? So a few minutes to jot that. And they're saying we'll be able to close with a short process after that. Yeah. Okay. All right. A few minutes. Here we go. Oh, and the guides do want to say they're saying it's important to acknowledge these fears, these worries as what am I hearing? The sense I got was that it's like this is part of the duality that as you stretch to receive these new expanded things, at the same time, it can feel very frightening or worrying. And it's not the way to attract, receive these things is not by ignoring the fear, the worry, it's by embracing and acknowledging it. That's why they used embrace the future, embrace 2025. It's by you embracing that you are embracing all parts of the journey. The fear comes hand in hand with the hope and the belief. The doubt comes hand in hand with the trust and possibility. And so believe in that and be open to the possibility, as a dear friend always says. But by presencing those worries and fears, you are creating space in the next year that this may come up, and I have created an energetic container that it's okay, that I am in some ways prepared to that might come up. And it doesn't feel like, oh, and I have scenario planned it. It's not a strategy thing. It's much more a deeper energetic thing. And they're saying it'll make more sense when we meditate. So recognizing we're going to come up on our almost 60-minute mark pretty soon. Since I started the live, I know some of you may have to drop, and that's okay. Like, trust that you can come back to this process. But I invite you, if you can stick around. I get the feeling that this will be a quick process here and a meditation, and then we close. So thank you for staying and for your flexibility. Sip of water if you haven't had that already. As you, they're saying, yeah, give this a few minutes. Be with your fears and doubts and worries. This is important. All right. I will invite us all to continue to write. Even after this time, the guides are also giving me the sense like I kept getting ideas for my dreams and goals list after, and they're like, yeah, we'll hold space for it all. It will all get integrated. But for the sake of time, I'm getting the nudge to. And when you do this in the replay, you'll have even more flexibility than those of us live. You'll be able to pause and take the time you need. But we'll go into a meditative practice. I feel like we will work within the records, but I'm not hearing the nudge to say the prayer. So we will see. This is a little experimental for me too. My intention was that we'd be able to take our intentions as we frame them now and in the near future around our goals and dreams, and also acknowledge our worries and fears and be able to work within our records individually through a collective process I channel now. Yeah, I keep getting the sense this will be brief, but we will see. So, inviting you all, if you're able to stay, thank you. And if you're here in the replay, thank you for receiving. Inviting you now to come back into your body more deeply, maybe in a thinking space. And maybe all your energy feels like it's up here. We want to drop it down, settle down, letting your energy pool all the way through your belly, hips, and torso, and starting to go down your legs into your feet. Seeing two balls of light around your feet as they deeply connect you to the ground, the earth below you. It almost feels like the energy of Mother Earth, Mama Gaia, is encircling our feet. And it looks like a globe that's spinning around our feet. It feels kind of cool. Like the earth's at our feet in this interesting way. And as you feel this level of grounding in your body, feeling the tethering, it's like, I'm here. Mother Earth is saying, I'm here and keeping you safe and connected. We're connecting up into the sky, and I'm feeling and seeing these rainbow colors and what looks like a prism of some sort. Um, I'm not quite getting the language. It's not a tetrahedron, but it's some kind of shape that's spinning, that's frame like. And I'm going to ask the guides, are we working with this? What are we doing? So the guides are saying we're helping you all connect to your records. It feels like a cord, a connection from our heart up into the sky, the realms above, where your records are maintained. You're all connected to these magical records, and I'm now seeing starry patterns in the sky, and you're all making your own unique connections. Maybe you're seeing your records, maybe you're feeling it, maybe the energy around you has shifted in quality. I trust that we have connected you to your records, you've opened it up, and you're asking the guides, like, inscribe, help me write down these intentions that I'm feeling for this coming year. What is it that you're calling in practically, materially? Inscribe it. I can see an old book, an ancient book that with a blank page, and I can see writing. I can't quite see the pen, but I can see the writing emerge on the page, and just trusting. They're saying so many of you tend to hold on to your dreams and goals so close to you that it's almost hard for them to energetically intervene. It's making me laugh as they say that. And they're inviting you, be in your energy, and can you offer just like a gift? Bring your hands up in this cupped position and offer up your dreams and goals to them. It's not you letting go completely, but it's like, can you help me? And an invitation. You're not begging if that worry comes up as you're doing this, but it is a, I'm here and I'm ready to receive help. And here you go around this goal, this dream that I have. And maybe you're focused on one dream, or maybe you're saying, take it all and help me receive it all. And help me receive this in the most fun, magical way possible for my highest good. Can we let go of any contracts of duality? This doesn't have to be a struggle anymore. that this can come through with ease and flow and joy and playfulness. For we have superseded those contracts and we are ready to experience a new version of ourselves, one that is living in so much trust and belief, one that is so expanded that your energy field can encompass all of these dreams and goals all at once. You are that powerful of a receiver. You are that powerful of a container. I feel like I can see you all like handing off these dreams energetically to your guides. They look like, I feel like I see that connection, but I also see cords connecting back to like records in the sky. I just saw these like beams that look like purple beams. Um, and as I'm feeling into the energy of it all, they're saying that's the biggest step we need you to do. From here, there's more you can do practically that you can allow for a next step to come through. But they're saying that's why it's so simple. This is the step, gosh, they're calling us out in some way, that you all forget. That you forget to let go of the dream, to allow us to intervene, for us to really help you see and dream this possibility into existence. Can you allow yourself to really dream this possibility into existence? Are you willing to allow us to help you, to call in the right guides, the right level of support for you? And I'm seeing a big yes in my heart. And if you consent to that, it's your choice. See a big yes in your heart too. And thank you. It's feeling like the energy is complete. I'm feeling the call from the guides to just put your hand on your heart and thank yourself for sharing that on paper, in your heart, in your digital journal, and with your guides, your higher power. They're saying that's a brave step. Many it is very hard given the programming and conditioning to do that you all live through and live in. So they say thank you. And they're saying there is something very supportive of us all doing it together, whatever time or place we may be in, that is helping us trust and believe this is possible. So I'm thanking you for that energy you've contributed as well. And so with that, I'm inviting you now to thank your guides, thank your records. Trust that this connection has been built. You're not disconnecting in a big way. It's just, all right. And I am now letting a lot of this energy travel back into the records, but keeping a cord of connection to your dream. And they're saying it can become fainter or stronger, but the connection has been built. And so, thank you, guides, for their support. They're saying you can always revisit this plan and adjust and change it. It is your plan. And that we thank you for securing this plan with us, with trusting us. We thank you. And letting your energy drift back down into your body fully, into your legs connected to the ground and Mama Gaia. And taking a moment to breathe and feeling this love from your guides and from Mother Earth surround you. It's a different kind of energetic circle, different from what we experienced at the start. It feels like a cozy bubble of receptivity for yourself. Let yourself feel the coziness of this bubble, for you have traversed and done so much today. Thank you for receiving. And whenever you're ready, feeling connected to the earth, the floor, the surface below you, feeling into this energetic bubble that you can carry with you as long as you want or change it as you need. I invite you to open your eyes and come back into your space now. Take a moment to jot down anything that came through for you in that meditation. I think I voiced everything that came through for me. Ah, that was lovely. Thank you for your shared energy. If you have any other reflections, I welcome that in the comments below. And If you feel called to experience a deeper one on one journey with me, my Soul Quest sessions are open. I have a few spots for the rest of this year here in 2024, more open in 2025. I would love to journey with you, help you connect to your records, help you connect to whatever energy is most in your greatest good to receive in this new year. With much love and many blessings. Thank you.